Welcome to Bite Size Dental Marketing.
Arr!
we have we have Dr. Gray with us from Rochester Endodontics. That's in Minnesota, not New York. Much to the when I was trying to plan my travel there, I was very much lined up some restaurants out of New York to visit. So,
Oops.
yeah, but I did have the right flight, obviously. So,
Oh, good.
yeah, we made it. We made it. I guess I wanted to start with I loved the All-Star event we met at last May. Are you going this year, and what are you most excited about?
Yep, I'll be going there with the same three team members that we took last year. They loved
Yeah.
it. We all loved it. We all learned. And now we're just going to try to, move on from where we were before and learn a little bit more. And then the key is to implement.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question on
The
that.
best thing was, go ahead.
I have a question because, I just saw Dr. Valerie's video the other day, I think on LinkedIn or Instagram, talking about how she feels about taking the whole team. And I've wondered that question myself around how much more expensive is it to take the whole team, and what's the pros and cons, or what's the value, why should anyone take the whole team to some of these things?
Ooh. Yeah, we have taken our whole team to some other events. It required shutting down the office, all that kind of thing. So we've taken key people to this one so far. And I think since this is like version 2, last year was like baby step 1, this is number 2, have these same people go. And then I think what we'll do is we will then have other people get the opportunity. So in the end, everybody gets the content, but we don't shut the office down, all that kind of thing. Because I have an associate that wants to keep working as well, so that way we can keep the engine running.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Now, what did you take away from last year's?
Oh wow! The biggest thing
Mm-hmm.
was actually a confidence booster for myself. That we did an exercise. Do you remember the paper plates?
Mm-hmm.
I do remember it. Yes.
Paper plates on your back. You go up to people and they write things about you. They may or may not know you. You might have just, sat next to them 10 minutes before. And honestly, I still have my paper plate. I look at that paper plate and I go, wow, sometimes I have some confidence issues, that kind of thing. And that little thing that the people around me, put about me, some of them were my team members, that I work with every day, and some weren't. And it was impactful and still is to this day, 11 months later. And I know that some of my team members also still have their paper plates.
Yeah, I have mine. It was really impactful because I only knew 2 or 3 people there prior to the event. Everyone else, I think we met cold there, but it was pretty powerful how strong the first impressions were and how consistent they were. And yeah, I'm the same. Your own event last year in Rochester, and 4 of us went there: Stephanie, Brittany, Andre, and myself. What did you get any feedback from it? Because we got a ton of great doctor testimonials about your practice, and
we got good feedback. A lot of the marketing that we have done locally, the marketing person goes out, talks to people. They got the input, from them, and I get it indirectly. So it's been very well received, and we plan on doing another event this October.
Yeah, October 13th. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm gonna have to. I will tell you, you have inadvertently created some heartburn for me in that now Stephanie's like, well, I'm gonna go, and then Katie is like, well, if Stephanie goes, I want to go, and Brittany's like, well, I went last year, so I mean, unfortunately, you might have a team of 23 pain-free people show up.
So yeah, it might be one of those things where you bring the whole team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead,
from a outcome standpoint, did it work? I mean, we have a few specialists that we work with, and I think generally they approach their marketing the same way in terms of visiting local general practices and trying to build relationships. But you're the first one of our specialists who has hosted an event like this. So do you have any advice or feedback from that standpoint for other specialists who may be considering something like that for their marketing?
Well, we got great turnout in a very short time frame last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had problems with venue and speaker and all this kind of thing, so it actually had to happen pretty fast. You know, it was well received. You guys made it easy to do. Honestly, all the people that were involved really made my job easy in the process. You know, the actual ROI, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to branch out and figure out who we are as an office. And I think that's who we can be in our town and our community, is that we can be a resource to help other dental offices and dental personnel, you know, do different things at work, do different things at home, you know, provide some education that they can't get other places. And, you know, on top of that, we're going to start doing some lunch and learns at people's offices. We're going to start a study club. And so just kind of be known as that office that does that stuff. You know, other offices do maybe other things, but we kind of want to be that educational component, you know, and be a resource in whatever way we can. In our town in previous years, the periodontist office, they had 3 or 4 periodontists for a while. They had 7 offices. They did a huge continuing education event every October, and that ended 4 years ago. So people got used to this fall meeting, and I mean, this periodontal group with their 7 offices, they'd get 1,000 people to this meeting. And that ended, and, you know, we were thinking, gee, you know, there's this void now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we're not trying to do periodontal stuff. We're not even trying to do endo stuff. We're trying to do practice management, you know, lifestyle, you know, all kinds of things that everybody could participate in and not go, oh, you know, I do my own endo, I don't need to know. Or, oh, I don't want to do endo, why would I need to go and learn about that? But it's all kinds of general topics that'll be covered, and try to keep it on that level.
I like the community aspect that you're trying to build there. And I think that's really cool. Like I don't think you realize how much we talk about you in the office, about how much we admire and like Dr. Gray. There's every now and again we'll sort of talk about who's going to be on what meeting, or, you know, Stephanie's going out of town or something like that. And, you know, there are some doctors that probably shouldn't admit this, that someone's like, oh, we need to cover a meeting. And I mean, it's crickets. Like, and then there's others, you know, Dr. Gray, and, you know, everyone's hand goes up to, I'll cover it. I'll take one for the team and go talk to him. Yeah.
Thank you. Funny. Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Nice. And then you send Andre. That's what you do.
Send Andre.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been coaching with Vickery?
Eric Vickery, I started his program April 2 years ago. So it's been 2 years right now. So it's been about 24 months.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've heard you say you have Vickery coaching, you know, on sort of leadership and KPIs, right? And then you have All-Star at the front desk. You have ACE and Endodontics Mastery on the clinical/business side, correct?
Yep.
Now, at what point in your journey did you have that support around you? And, you know, what would you tell yourself 20 years ago? What would you have done different?
Yeah. I also have another leadership coach, Joel Small, with Line of Sight Coaching, who I got involved with all these people through ACE's program. So 20 some years ago, I had a practice in Federal Way, Washington, which is a suburb of Seattle. My office was probably 20 miles from ACE's office. You know, I'm first out of school. I get these little postcards, says, oh, join this endo mastery thing with Ace Gorig, you know, old guy is going to tell you how to do root canals. So I'm like, dude, I just got out of school. You know, I know this stuff. What do I need him for? And the intervening 20 years goes by, and it's 2017. I knew that my kids were graduating from high school. I needed to figure out something in my life. I signed up for an online MBA program because I wanted to learn business. And I lasted about a week or two in that, and I'm like, this isn't for me. And I'm like, well, what else could I do? And ACE's program is the only program that kind of covered all the bases: the clinical side, the business side, the administrative aspects. So I contacted his people, and the fee was significant. And I talked to the onboarding lady, Deborah, and I said, okay, so I'll do this program as long as we can see that amount that it costs. We're going to see that in increased production. And the sealer for that deal was, she goes, oh, if we only do that, we've failed miserably. I'm like, oh, okay, so these are the people I want to be involved with. And so the ROI on that has been, I don't know how many thousands of %. I mean, really, it's been monumental. And now I started that in 2017, found out that coaching has been the key to the increased growth and success of our practice, me personally, all kinds of things. And now I'm super into it. That's why I have a coach for all kinds of stuff. And found out that, there's a lot of resources available like you guys, that if I wasn't involved in some of these other things, I wouldn't know about all this. And there's only so much I can do or be good at. And so for the first 20 years I was in practice, I didn't do any of it. So now I'm delving in and trying to, increase my capability as a leader. And, it's kind of fun because then everybody else does the hard work. Just work with people to figure out a vision, then how to lead them, and then they do the work for you. And it's been wonderful. But if I could talk to myself 20 years ago, I should have picked up that little pamphlet or postcard and just made the phone call, and I probably would have been way farther along, in the process. But, everybody has their timing, and I guess it wasn't my timing then.
No, it's interesting you talk about that. Andre and I are going through a similar journey as our company grows, in that we're trying to find our balance. And just like, I think the bar is really high for you to be a great endodontist and a great business person and a great CEO and a great marketer, and self-coach and stay motivated and disciplined on all the things. I think we're going through a similar journey in our company around how big do we want to be and how much time do we want to spend with, because the bigger you get, paradoxically, the less time you spend with clients, because now we're managing the people who manage the clients. And that layer it's been interesting for us to sort of navigate our happiness and where we want to be. And, we've definitely started to do the coaching and the books and the clubs and things. But yeah, it's wild at how, as you grow, you start to realize that you need to build a team around you to go far.
Exactly. You can only do so much. There's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, Andre.
No, I was going to say, this felt like a good segue, to make a little plug perhaps for the event on October 13th. So, if there's an endodontist or a general, dentist or a specialist of any kind who might be listening right now, what would you tell them about the event? Where, some details, how they sign up, what do they hope to get out of it, that sort of thing.
Perfect. They could visit our event page, RochesterEndodontics.com. We're going to have Dr. Ace Gorg, my mentor, the guy that I turned down 20 years ago. Found out he's a great guy. He truly cares. He cares about all the people that he deals with, all the people in the audience. He just wants the best for you, no matter who you are. He'll be talking about some general concepts, money stuff, practice management, all kinds of things, all packed into one day. He really is a dynamo. He is, I think he's 77 years old, and he can work circles around me. I know that. And he's got the enthusiasm. You guys know he has the enthusiasm of a 15-year-old.
He does. He's amazing. He's a rare gem.
And he will be speaking at the Mayo Civic Center here in Rochester, Minnesota, October 13th. I don't know the start time yet, probably 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. He'll go. The first half of the day will be the entire dental staff will be there, and then he told me in the afternoon he'd like to just do doctors and their spouses, talk more money type stuff in the afternoon that's focused towards them. But it's sure to be a good time. He will make it funny, that's for sure. And we're looking forward to it. But Rochester Endodontics, the events page, have some information. More information will come out. RSVPs will probably be sometime this summer.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Well, Dr. Gray, thanks so much for taking time on your day off to jump on with us. And that was your Bye to Dental Marketing.
Arr.